I'm Daisy Ryan of Companion Hospitality, and today I'm going to talk to you about 3 of my most favorite places in the Santa Ynez Valley, run by 3 of my most favorite people. What Nik Ramirez does at Nana Thai is something that I truly know nothing about. Nik Ramirez, he's an incredibly warm, charming human being, and his food is warm and charming, and really he cooks from his soul. That seems like kind of a cheesy thing to say, but it's so far from the food that I cook on a day-to-day basis, and it is truly a treat for me to go and eat there and be there, and you walk into the space and it's colorful and inviting, and the food is the same way, and Nik Ramirez is the same way.
The philosophy at Nana Thai is really doing Bangkok street food kind of the way we remember it. You know, after living there, coming back to the States, we realized that Thai food just didn't taste the same to us anymore. And so we really wanted to try to how do we get the flavor that we remember? You know, everything honestly tasted bland. You know, Thailand is very much like, if you ask a Thai guy, oh, where's the best pad Thai? They're gonna be like, it's my neighborhood shop. Do our king prawns, little coconut cream. You know, we just get that pork fat in there. I like our pad Thai have a little wok hei, kind of like smoky element, going with the tofu, salted daikon, and our Thai dry shrimp. Get that heat ripping again. Yeah, you see this? These pans are killer because they're so lightweight, nice handle, feel good in the wrist. You can't do this with a cast iron. Pans have this nice curve, so it just really wants to bounce back at you. Now I'm actually wanting the temp to drop a little bit so that I can not overcook the egg. Yeah, that's what so that's kind of how we do it. Then the noodles go in. I get the little saute for a second. Don't forget the peanut and the chili. We add a little extra chili, just make it, spice it up a little bit. Once that's done, old school pad Thai sauce, 3 ingredients. All about balance. And that's it, that's pad Thai. We really try to do the cuisine in the most traditional and respectful way. We're trying to recreate those tastes that I think are more traditional to the Thai palate. This recipe is from around the 40s. It's traditional style. It is 3 ingredients. It's palm sugar, fish sauce, and tamarind. Really trying to recreate a memory of a taste. With our pad Thai, we want people, especially people that have been to Thailand, to feel, I want them to get the wow moment. People of Thai culture that are living in the States now, to be able to have something that, you know, reminds them of their grandma's cooking or of their neighborhood shop.
Nik has done this really cool thing where he has taken kind of this traditional style of Texas barbecue and turned it into California ranchero barbecue. He is passionate about the state. He is passionate about the origins of food in this area that feels just so authentic. You can just taste the education that he has given himself, these subtleties of it that are so cared for. Whether they realize it or not, the people eating this food, that they just know there's a difference.
Priedite BBQ came about through a lot of my traveling throughout the country. We've tried to showcase a lot of different techniques and styles that you can see all the way from California to South Carolina, but we want to present it in a way that uses ingredients and items that are familiar with the California palate. Kind of packaging it in a way that can convey a certain message, but kind of resolve with the community out here, while still kind of speaking to a greater American barbecue canon. This, my humble abode, is where we do all of our live fire barbecuing and cooking. Everything from our brisket, our ribs, where we cold smoke our sausages, a lot of our live fire treatment and Santa Maria style we'll do here. Okay, we are going to begin cooking the asparagus. I'm gonna go ahead and add quite a bit more coals here. And I really like to see these red embers inside of these coals. So I really want to bring high heat. This carbon steel can really take a lot of heat. That's why I really love cooking with this over open fire, because you can really crank the heat up on them. Okay, so I got my veg. I got some really nice asparagus here. Again, want to keep this really crisp. These are called torpedo onions. Kind of like a red onion meets a green onion. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of our tallow down. This is a really good sign, that sizzle. Because again, I don't want to slow roast these. I really want to get a nice good char on these right when I get them on. Oh, see, This is it right here. We're gonna talk about this real quick. Cooking with a red hot coal bed gives you so much heat and high temperature that you can get really beautiful char without overcooking things. So I love to see the greenness in these onions, but at the same time getting really beautiful blackened char. Those are the kind of things that for me kind of invokes a lot of the flavor and identity to like this kind of cooking. So I'm going to grab one right now, and we're gonna kind of just check for doneness. It's hot, but I don't know if you can hear the crunch. This is it. Let's everyone hides. So here's our final grilled vegetables. At this point, I just want to make things as easy as they can be as far as consuming. So I'm just gonna cut these asparagus on a little bit of a bias, cut through these onions a little bit, and plate it on our salsa, kind of like a guacamole, but kind of like reinforce a little bit more of the acid and body with the roasted veggies. So again, nothing fancy. It's really more about the asparagus and the onion. Yeah, this is our grilled asparagus and torpedo onion with a roasted avocado salsa and some mint. At the end of the day, barbecue is a very nostalgic thing. It's kind of this like quilted patchwork of American culture. So if we can kind of like evoke some of that nostalgia, but at the same time offering them a new experience folded in, that's really the biggest goal for me. And like the biggest compliment I can hear is if someone feels like that it brought them back, but at the same time offered them something new.
Brad lives and breathes Bar Le Côte. The finesse that he puts on the food is enviable. There every single moment and putting his touch on every dish, and it is his world. Sometimes for me, I think, man, like you see these photos of his dishes and I go there and I try it, and nothing makes me more proud than people coming to me and saying, man, we ate at Bar Le Côte last week and it was just so good.
Bar Le Côte is a California restaurant that is seen through the lens of Spanish food and Spanish cuisine, and so we take influence from those notes. I think there's a similar soulfulness between Spanish food and between the food that we cook in the Santa Ynez Valley in Los Olivos. I think personally, and I'm a little bit judgmental, that we have the best of the best here. Santa Barbara seafood is exquisite. The growing seasons, the variety of produce that we are awarded, it's a very special place to get to be a chef, is in this valley.
All right, so we're gonna cook our Santa Barbara halibut in this made in carbon steel. The carbon steel is fantastic because it gets real hot and it's very, very consistent. This halibut comes from Santa Barbara, and it's wonderful because I think that it is a beautiful showcase of Santa Barbara seafood. It's very well known, cooks really nice, it eats really well. It's just a great fish. I like to always watch my fish, always checking in on it to make sure that it's right where we want it to be. So we're watching our temperature. Oh, that fish is starting to get some really nice color, which is great. We're gonna add a little knob of butter. Oh, the smell is just insane. We're gonna baste a little bit. Now I'm gonna flip this just so we can see kind of how we're looking on the other side there. Perfect. We're gonna sear it on that other side. At this point, I'm gonna kill my heat because we're just gonna let this slowly cook from here on out in that butter. The next step in our halibut dish, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna coat the top of this with some saffron aioli. The saffron aioli adds a beautiful floral note, believe it or not, and then we're gonna cover this with breadcrumbs, some chives. Adds a really nice texture to this dish. Now we're gonna add our pea consomme. The consomme is made from shallots, mint, a little garlic, peas, and it's just a really, really nice addition to this dish. Our snap peas, we just cut them in half. I like peas that look like actual peas. I think that that's a really nice thing. Just gonna quickly give this a nice mix. These peas are just gonna be put in this warm consomme. They're not cooked, but they are gonna be warmed with the consomme, which is a really nice way to serve snap peas. You want everything to look just as it occurs in nature. I think that that's a really important part to plating food, is that you want it to look just like how it would look in nature. This is our Santa Barbara halibut, snap peas, pea tendrils, pea consomme, and mint.
There's a dynamic to it all. Things change day to day, things change week to week. This is just a really lovely way to showcase two ingredients at the peak of what they are. I think it's the most important thing, and I hope that that's what people take away from this dish, is that these are ingredients that are fleeting. We're lucky to have them when we do, and when they're gone, baby. we got to move on to something else.
I'm Nik Ramirez.
Nik Priedite.
Brad Mathews.
And I use Made in Cookware.